Hi everyone, Joyce here with a flip through of my handmade journal. This is a 6 by 7 3/4 inch book that I handmade around 2018. This is the cover is made of chipboard, this thick chipboard, and then I did put some paint on it, did some collaging with Tim Holtz tissue paper. If this is still available, I'll put a link in the comments, but I kind of get the feeling this particular one is not available anymore. And then the insides, there is 5 signatures. I don't know if you can see that. 5 signatures, and they are watercolor paper. So, back up a little bit here. Open it up. So this is not in chronological order because I actually just did this layout, this spread, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago even, in 2026. So this is just a page I opened up to, and I just started working in it. And there is a process video on this one. It's actually my first ever process video. And then most of this, I mean all of it, I did not do on camera. This is a lot of experimentation with spray inks, the dilutions, spray inks, and a white gel pen after it's dry, and just some doodling. Oh, it says my first adventure with spray inks. These pages, the watercolor paper I use is 300 pounds or 150 GSM, so it's pretty thick and can take a lot. So this is more just collaging, paint and collage, and experimenting with layers and colors, and that's what most of this book is, just playing around and experimenting. This is all stuff that I cut out of magazines. This was an advertisement. I don't know why. I guess it's him and his dog look alike in all of these pictures. And then, of course, Snickers is my favorite candy bar. This one I experimented a little bit with texture. This is around the outside. This frame is some twine, some glitter paint, some stamping. This is a raised text. And I still haven't gotten to Mount Rushmore, but hopefully someday I will. And then some of the pages stick, so I just put a piece of deli paper in between them. This one I specifically wanted to use gray. I like gray, the combination of gray, pink, and purple. So that's why I did this. And at the time, these were some faces that were showing up in the news, and I just put beautiful faces in beautiful places. There's Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, or the symbol. I don't know. Oh, this was done in May of 13th of 2017, so I started it actually earlier than I thought. Here I'm experimenting with putting paint through a stencil, and on this side is just some swatches I did with the Neocolor crayons, if you're familiar with them. I'm sure you'll see them in another video. This is paint and stamping. These trees and deer and such, that's all stamped, rubber stamped. Happy, don't worry, be happy, Bobby McFerrin. That's a throwback that shows my age. Again, I like all of these pages for one reason or another, but not the whole page. So like this one, I do like the colors. I don't like the rabbit here, but you know, you practice and learn, so they say. There's no such thing as too much purple. That might be true, but on this page there's too much purple. It's what's on the inside that counts. This is washi tape paint. There's some texture on here. I put texture paste through a stencil, so it's very rough feeling. And then this, I was just, again, experimenting with circles and cutting through stuff. There was a certain shading technique that I had seen online that I was trying to practice, but I didn't get to it. Just more swatches. This is Inktense pencil. It's probably one of the first full sets of art supply that I purchased. My Delusions paint pens, and I don't have those anymore because I didn't like any of them. But that's the way it goes. Sharpie water-based pens. I did like these. I still have those. They last a long time. Here I was just practicing with doodling and layering images. This is a background. I don't know, maybe it's someday that I'll put something more on it. Again, it's just I put down paint first, and then I collaged more of that Tim Holtz tissue paper over top. This is another start of a page. I like trees, but I like fanciful trees, and this just, when I was doing it, it just wasn't doing it for me. It wasn't making me happy, so I moved on. Maybe someday I'll come back to it, but I don't have to. It's my book. Some more just playing around with swatches and colors, and this says edge painting. First edge is dry before adding the second color. I guess that's how to get them to not blend together. And some doodling again. Just experimenting with some new markers that I had, watercolor markers. Same here, watercolor, and then a little bit of doodle over it. This is one of my favorite techniques, is to take the edge of a plastic card, like an old credit card, and dip the edge just in paint and then scrape it across the page. I, for some reason, really like that look. So this is a background. I don't know if I'll put anything on top of it. Maybe eventually, but I do like it. So this is his face. I can't say I've gotten much better since that. And then just more playing around with colors and lines. Same here. Still trying to get like a shading technique that I enjoy doing. This is watercolor. There's an artist out there that does some like watercolor trees that I really like, and trying to do a little bit of what she does, and of course this ain't it. This is not it. And playing around, and more playing around with this might be a wipe off page where I had extra paint and just wiped it off onto these two pages. This is a image I cut out of a book. So this page is ready to go whenever I want to come back to it, if I ever want to come back to it. And then it looks like I just have a couple more pages in here to do. And that's it. So thank you for joining me today on this flip through. And until next time, be safe, be happy.